name.
All right.
And, okay. So we're just going to go from here. Okay. So, how are you feeling as far as your dose coming down?
Good.
No discomfort?
I mean, my leg's a little achy at night.
Okay.
I mean, it's minor.
Okay, manageable?
Absolutely.
Okay, no mental distress from the
No.
decrease?
Everything's going real good.
All right, and you know where you're going to be today per milligram?
I mean, 2 and 1, I would assume.
Yeah, 2 and 1. Okay, so, and I did explain to you that after the 2 weeks, you would need to bring those bottles back so they can be accounted.
Yeah, and I have to, Joyce, I pay $40 every time I come, $20 a week.
Okay.
And I didn't know if the $40 I paid today was if I was paying ahead or I was paying current.
Okay.
So when I come back, I have $40 to owe and drop the bottles off.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, did you decide if you wanted to stay on for the outpatient counseling?
I do, but I'm not going to because of the Warren thing.
Okay.
So, I guess I was thinking about just doing it, but then on top of it, my insurance, because I'm going to get insurance to work now once I'm done here.
Right, because you'll have to pay for the sessions and
the Warren screens too. So yeah, I mean, it's just as much as I'd like to come back.
Okay.
I'm not jumping through hoops.
Okay. Now, what we will do is I can call you once a month for the next 3 months just to check in, how you doing, see how things are going.
And I'm allowed to call here?
Yes, absolutely. Okay. Yes. And then, if at any time in those 3 months that you decide, hey, I want to come back in for some counseling, you feel like you need that extra.
Oh, I can opt to come back in for counseling?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely. And not that we would even want this to happen, but if for, say, some reason you happen to relapse or you're struggling with your ability to stay clean or whatever, you can always call if you wanted to come back to get on the medication.
Oh, okay.
I mean, we're not hoping that happens, obviously.
No, but I mean, it's a
you just never
legitimate option.
So the option is there, if you need to come back.
Okay.
During those 3 months especially. But even after that, 6 months, a year down the road, be like, well, hey, I really feel like I need to get back into treatment. Just give us a call, and we'll have Joyce, do the intake for you.
Okay.
Okay, so we can get you in. All right. So before we leave, I'll just make sure I have your updated phone number, but I won't put it on the video so that it's not on there.
Well, it hasn't changed. I mean, we can double check, but it hasn't.
Okay. All right. So this is your number right here.
Yep.
Okay. Great. So what's been going on since last time we talked? Still at work? Still busy?
Busy at work.
Okay.
And
the tour's driving you crazy?
I guess maybe now a little bit. Just with I can't even say it's a tour, so it's just a little bit of just the congestion, But I don't do all that much. So, I don't see it. I don't get into a lot of congestion, but especially on the weekends, to go and do something, it's like you can't pull out of any of the side streets or other small businesses because of, everything is just, do you get familiar with Bethany Beach and 26?
I know where Bethany Beach is, not 26 though.
Like the main drag, you would turn off the 1 at the totem pole to go down to Bethany Boardwalk.
Is that where the marina is?
Well, you make a right and head away from the ocean.
Oh, okay.
And that's 26 Atlantic Avenue.
Okay.
So that's the stretch I'm always dealing with, and there's just some congestion. But the winter kind of gets you almost start to. I almost start to look forward to people coming back because it gets a little bit, dead down there. I mean, nothing going on at all. So you want the best of both worlds. Just a small amount of people and year around them. But
now, how about the meetings? You still attending those?
Sunday nights.
Sunday nights. Okay, in church.
Every Sunday morning.
Okay. All right.
So Sundays are full.
Now, because the last time we talked, you had talked about your friend that's in Pittsburgh is a sponsor and not having that direct connection and looking possibly for someone closer to home? Have you been able to find anyone?
You know what? I met with a guy that like potential sponsor.
Okay.
And he just wasn't for me.
No.
Nah.
Well, it has to be the right fit.
Yeah, and he's nice guy and everything, but I just two different like walks of life, and I just couldn't be comfortable enough to just be brutally honest with him about things, and but like I said, very nice guy, and no problem. That comfort level wasn't there.
Okay.
Being that I kind of have a sponsor, I kind of have a little crutch for now, but yeah, I definitely am wanting to get a sponsor down there.
Okay.
For sure.
All right. So still looking for a sponsor. Okay. That's good. Yeah. Any other problems, issues, concerns?
No. There was something that I was going to call last week. Did you meet the doctor on Thursdays, right?
Yes.
I was going to call last week, and maybe if you think about it, you could ask him next Thursday. Is the bottom going to drop out? Like, am I going to start to get sick?
Most people who are detoxing off the Suboxone or methadone, with the Suboxone it's easier, but with the methadone, because you're such at a low dose, you shouldn't have any more discomfort than you're having now.
When I dose someone, it's like clear water. There's barely anything in
right. Well, and you detox so slowly for such a long time that when you take your last week's dose, and then a couple days after that, you might have some discomfort, but nothing, what you're expecting is like this full-fledged
it's just
withdrawal is likely to not happen.
I guess. I agree. Going so slow definitely was to my advantage, but I guess it's. But then being good mentally too, I guess helps, because if you're not, then you feel like every little thing is because you're getting sick or
Right.
But I just kind of was thinking like, can't imagine like getting sick or getting uncomfortable, because 2-3 milligrams is nothing, and why would there be a drop off from 1 to 0 opposed to 2 to 1?
Right. Some of that could be just the anxiety of knowing that, this week you're on the medication and this week you're not.
That's it.
And it's no longer in your system. But you have to remember, too, that you've been detoxing for so long that it's slowly working its way out of your system, and you're putting less and less in your system. So there shouldn't be as much, discomfort towards the end. Now, people who are, like, detoxing off Suboxone, they can do that in a week, and generally there's no discomfort. Whereas the methadone, if we were dropping you 10 milligrams a week, then you're going to feel it. Each week it's going to be worse.
Yeah.
But with with how we've been doing your detox, it's been going so slow that just a little bit of discomfort you're feeling now is probably all you'll end up feeling. Okay. Some of it's going to be more of the mental, just knowing that this, because you've been on the methadone for, so many years, and, at some point in time in the next couple weeks, you're no longer going to have that, the everyday taking medication. So a lot of that's going to be the mental piece of, okay, I'm not taking something today. This doesn't feel quite right. It's going to be a change, an adjustment for you. But your body physically isn't going to go through any more withdrawal than it already has over this, past couple of months.
Gotcha.
Now, if you have concerns about it, of course, please call us. Yeah. But I don't.
No, I guess I just have been thinking like I said, it's just gone so smoothly, and like I said, mentally I couldn't imagine how I could feel happy, just because, like I said, 2 milligrams, 1 milligram, 0, it's basically all the same. I can't imagine that I would feel that 1 milligram, that the first morning I don't dose that, well, probably the second morning, because it'd take a good day, but I can't imagine that I'm going to be like, oh my God, I'm so sick.
No, I think it'll be more mental, because you've done this for so long.
That's it.
Your body's accustomed to it, your mind's accustomed to it, it's part of your routine. that when you don't do that any longer, it's going to feel a little, unusual. Like, I'm used to taking this medication every day, and,
I'm going to start taking a multivitamin every morning to kind of,
that's a good idea.
Go through the motions, I guess.
Yeah, that's a good idea. And of course, that don't have any problems withdrawing from that.
That's it. That's it. I'll be checking myself back in because I'm addicted to multivitamins.
Well, that I haven't heard of, but I have heard of like Red Bull. Some people use it for energy drinks, and then they
never even tried it.
Realize, oh wait, I'm drinking a little that and coffee.
Wow.
Getting a little bit too much caffeine in me.
Yeah, I've never tried the energy drinks or those little shots you see at the cash register.
Yeah, they're not good for you.
I think it's gotta be a gimmick. There's no way.
Okay, so what I was going to do is, we don't have to do your treatment plan today, because we just did that in July. But what I would like you to do, if you're okay with it, while I get the computer up and get your discharge summary going, is if you could just look back at your co-occurring relapse prevention plan, just a kind of a reminder of, some of the warning signs you need to watch for, high-risk environments, the things that you had wrote. This was back in August of last year, so it's just about a year ago that we did this. And that's a kind of refresher for you. And, of course, if you want a copy of it, I'll give you a copy of that as well. And another thing that you can do is called a coping card. And you can do it on an index card or even something smaller just to put in your pocket, kind of like that thing that I gave you, the AA verse. And you can put on there, some of this information like high-risk environments, who can I call when I'm struggling, your sponsor's number, support people's phone numbers, things like that on a card, and then, put it in your wallet. And then if you ever feel like, wow, I'm really struggling today, then you can pull that out of your wallet and everything's kind of handy, versus carrying something around like that, So just something to think about. If you wanted to do that at your leisure, some people have found that to be helpful. What I'll do is I'll work on the discharge summary, and when you come back the day with your bottles, I'll have you sign this.
Okay.
And then that'll complete the discharge. But for now, I just wanted to know, what are your strengths? What do you believe are your strengths? Things that'll help you to...
In recovery?
Yes. Or in your personal life, or...
Just a good work ethic.
Okay, that's a good strength. Anything else? About insightful. You've always been very insightful about.
Yeah, I mean, insightful, definitely. Just very concerned for my family always.
Okay, family oriented. Sometimes it's hard to look at yourself and think like what your strengths are,
yeah.
And sometimes we don't see what others see of us. Insightful. So I'd say family oriented, and what about family support? Because your family seems to be very supportive of you.
Absolutely.
And you're very close to them, so we can put family support. That's definitely a strength. Those are the people that, you can...
Oh, yeah, I definitely wouldn't be here without my family. Reliable.
I was going to say dependable, so we're on the same Probably stay away life here. Okay. Any others?
Not really.
Okay. Now, under client needs, for some people, they may need further treatment if, they're being referred somewhere else or detoxed. We won't need that for you. Sober Social Support Network for some people because they don't have, sponsor meetings, but you have those. So we can take that off. You don't have any mental health issues that I'm aware of, so we can take that out. You don't have chronic physical health, so we can take that out. You don't need mental health counseling or management. So, what do you think are some of the things that are some needs for you? That will help you to stay abstinent and on your right track.
I mean, first and foremost, just people, places, and things.
Okay, so refrain from people, places, and things. Okay.
Yeah. Do you ever watch that show? I don't know if it's called Addiction or Addicted.
The people who eat like couch cushions and toilet paper, or you talking about it?
No, I've seen that briefly. Yeah, I can't watch that. It's about if you had a sister, you would get your family together. Oh, Intervention. That's what it's called.
Yes.
Have you seen that? They did I guess like a recap show over the last 5 years.
Okay, no, I haven't seen that.
Actually, you know what? It wasn't even a recap show. It was just at the end of the one show, they did a quick 60-second recap on all the people that they've done interventions with.
Okay.
And there were 253 that they did.
Wow.
I didn't realize it was that many either. They had you could barely make out their pictures, but they had the whole screen covered with all these little pictures of all the people.
Oh, okay.
How many of them, of 253, how many of them do you think are still clean today?
It's usually about 10%.
You're not going to believe me. You're going to have to look it up on the computer.
Okay.
237.
Are you kidding? Well, that's amazing.
And when I saw that, it really, I think, has a lot to do with, like I said, I mean, I was doing real good before I moved from Pittsburgh. Mm-hmm. For a long time, I was doing good. But, I mean, there's way more, urges, and, every single day I pass by somewhere or someone that I know, or, you know what I mean? It's just, and that's why I like to move away from that environment. And during these interventions, they always take them from Detroit to Recovery Center in Tampa.
A lot of them are in Florida.
Yeah, and they always, go away. They don't say, okay, well, you're in Detroit. There's a nice recovery center right down the street.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I think that's a big key to recovery. Is just
for you to staying away.
Yeah, and like I said, even with these people that I couldn't even imagine that. And I rewound it on TV because I thought I misheard it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because there's no way that many people, and they just, I don't even remember what they said about it.
That's promising.
They weren't tooting their own horn or anything. They were just saying, there's always hope, but
that's a good message.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that you watched that episode because that reminds you that there is success in this.
Yeah, and that intervention, it's a good, it's a good show. It is.
Yeah, I've watched it quite a few times, and it's really sad to see, how addiction,
Oh, it's unbelievable.
Families
I mean, and I think for families that have no clue about addiction, I think the intervention show kind of helps to, just show them that, it happens to everybody. It happens all the time, and as odd as it may seem in your world, it's not that odd.
Right.
You know what I mean?
No, it's a lot. Addiction's a lot more common than people want to believe.
Yep.
Definitely.
I never was a cocaine person. I mean, I just never was into coke.
Mm-hmm.
And a good friend of mine, though, was is an attorney, and he actually sold cocaine out of one of the skyscrapers in downtown.
Wow.
And I would go down and get coke for a friend of mine and, drop it off. And then maybe like once a month. And here out every now and then I'd bump into this. I don't even think he was a friend of him. He was just there buying drugs.
Mm-hmm.
And when I found out who he was, because I thought he looked familiar, I mean, it was like the last family in the world you would ever expect to have, I shouldn't say that. It was just like shocking that this guy was a coke addict, because I knew his family and I knew everything, and it just was so crazy. So at that point, I always think back to that, and that was before I smoked pot, but that was before I even did drugs. And I remember thinking back, wow, I can't believe this guy was strung out on coke. It always shocked me. So I always kind of refer back to that in the back of my head that, it happens to everybody.
It does. So. It really does. And it's a huge epidemic. And I'm glad that there's more treatment for people and there's less of a stigma, I think, than maybe in years past. Okay, so for you, definitely, the environment can be a trigger for bringing from certain people, places, and things.
Absolutely.
Anything else that you feel like you need going forward?
You know what? Honestly, I'm just so exhausted with the whole addiction that I'm so excited to be being done. And I mean, I just feel like I have myself so set up right now that at this point, I don't feel like there's anything that's gonna.
Okay.
But I mean, I could walk out of here and
And we're here if you need us.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
No, absolutely.
Okay.
And I know that, and that's why I wanted to make sure I was all right to call when you said.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. What do you feel like your abilities are? Now, some people get confused about, what's an ability, but it's something that you're able to do. Some people are capable of working, taking care of a family, whatever. Maintain recovery, maintain abstinence.
Yeah, all of those abilities. I don't feel that I have a disability.
Okay. So I can put able to accomplish, anything I'm inclined to, able to accomplish goals.
Yeah, definitely can accomplish goals.
Right.
Ability to, I wouldn't know how to word it, but do what I say I'm going to do, and if I say I'm going to do something, I do it. I've always tried to be that way.
Okay, to execute follow through.
There you go.
Okay. And that's a good quality to have as well. If you say you're going to do something and you do it, that's definitely a good quality. So for you, Joe, I'm going to put prognosis is good. You've had, 6 years worth of, treatment, 3+ years of negative urine screens.
Mm-hmm.
Solid foundation as far as strong family support. You go to meetings, you go to church. You have a sponsor, you're working, and are you still fishing every morning?
Yeah.
Before work? Okay, so you've got that, the serenity piece of that, plus, it's a healthy leisure activity. It's, very healthy as far as, learning patience and just becoming one with nature. I think we talked about that before. So all of those things, to me, show good progress. And as I stated, you are my first technical successful discharge, from this treatment, which is why we're videotaping this session today. because you have all of the pieces lined up for a good prognosis, and I'm really proud of the success that you made. When you came to us, you were already stable. You had, everything pretty well grounded. So I didn't get to see, the person before the hard work that you put into it. But I appreciate that you've been able to maintain, doing well over these last, year. How long have we been working together?
A year and a half.
Year and a half, yeah. So, I feel like you came to us, with a good head on your shoulders and knew what you wanted, and were able to continue setting those goals and getting the job that you wasn't the initial job that you had wanted when you first came on down here, but you were able to find a job that has seemed to work really well for you this past year and a half. So I'm really proud of you.
Thank you very much. And it is, every single day, I was going to say before, I could leave here and see a car that is just an older, odd car that you don't see that often, but it happens to be the car that I used to go and cop drugs off of, there's that car, wow, that's crazy, and then, start to think like, well, I can probably do one bag, and, so, I definitely have the total mindset of, anything could trigger anything, and, I used to tell this story to my counselor that I had in Pittsburgh, and that I went and got drugs one day, and 99 out of 100 times, as soon as I would get them, I'd pull over to whatever I thought was a discreet spot and do my drugs.
Okay.
And I was in methadone at the time, but I probably just got into it, and because I never really did drugs at all once I was on methadone, so this must have been more early in the treatment. So I got the drugs from the guy, and I actually got rained out from work. We were pouring concrete that day. I got rained out from work, so I was going to be home at like that. And I get back in my truck after I got the drugs, and I've always been a big Howard Stern fan.
Okay.
And so there was something on the radio, and I was laughing at it. And here, I pull in my driveway, and I scout up the door in the house, and my dogs are, coming to the door barking and everything. And I'm thinking, like, man, am I forgetting something? My keys. Here, I completely forgot that I even bought drugs. And what I'm getting at is, I totally got back into my truck instead of, hurry up and doing them. Something caught my ear on the radio. I got involved in it. I was only 5-10 minutes to get home, and I completely forgot about it.
Okay.
But, the half hour before that, I decided when I left work, I'm going to go get something. I couldn't wait to get it. I'm already thinking, oh yeah, I'm going to pull over there. And
right.
But, it's just how crazy, you can make your, think of something else. So I guess what I'm getting at is, anytime that I've ever thought of, drugs or, like if I'm in my truck or whatever, put on the radio or change the station. And then it's like that quickly, it'll go out of my head. Now, it might come back in 10 minutes or 10 hours later, but so it was a good situation that I got in my truck, and I did end up doing the drugs that day.
But the time had some time lapse.
And it wasn't even a thought of like, I'm going over the bridge. I'll just be home in 2 minutes. I'll deal with that. Like, totally forgot about it to the point that I knew I was forgetting something. And like I said, I'm feeling for my keys or my wallet, something, and then it hit me that it was the drugs that I forgot.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Now, when earlier you were talking about how if you're driving and then you see a car that may remind you of another car that you may have used in or driven around in. When you have those thoughts, how do you turn them off? What has been helpful for you as far as just saying, so that you're not, continuing wanting to use?
I would say the last 6 months, definitely the last 3 months, I immediately have the mindset of, boy, what a just crazy time that I'm actually getting put behind me now. Like, there's no, I don't get any positive thoughts out of those things anymore.
Okay.
Like, I definitely used to. Anything would trigger me, but now
so that's progress.
Yeah, like I just don't get those. I just don't get that positive thought out of triggers.
Okay.
And the other thing is, I was at 2 methadone programs in Pittsburgh and this one. So the 3 methadone programs, with some decent time in all 3 of them.
Mm-hmm.
It is the program itself. Well, I shouldn't say the program. It's myself included, but the clientele that keeps me stronger too. Because I mean, for whatever reason, and I'm not putting anybody down, but it's a depressing kind of scene. You know what I mean? Just because everybody's young. I mean, everybody here is young. Mm-hmm. I mean, you have even the people that are like the one guy, I haven't seen him in a while. The guy with the hair, you're probably not even allowed to acknowledge. But anyway, I haven't even seen him in a while. But everybody here is young. I mean, in just appearances and just language and the way people carry themselves. I mean, that's why methadone programs have such.
Yeah, stigma.
I mean, and rightfully so. I mean, it's not the greatest sight. So when I first got into the first methadone program, I was like, oh man, this is rough. Just being in line at 5 o'clock in the morning before work, and I mean, it's such a downer. I mean, it really, because you're down as far down as you can get anyway, and then you get into here, and all it does is, you're even more people are, funneling into that same. So one of my real positive things is just to be out of the, like that would be the break that you away from just everything.
Being free of everything. The methadone clinic in general.
And it's still like just drugs. I mean, I'm still doing drugs even though I'm coming in here getting a prescription. I mean, just to have that whole break. And, I mean, it's just such a vicious cycle though. I mean, to be in the methadone programs and, you see the same people, you hear the same stories, and oh, my drug test wasn't dirty, they did this, and I mean, it's such bullshit.
But isn't it like a constant reminder of if I don't keep myself on the right path?
Yeah, that's the point I was trying to make. This is not where I ever want to be again. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, that's, and I mean, I just get so sick and tired of hearing stupid bullshit, and just, I'm just exhausted on the whole, addiction thing, without a doubt.
Okay.
I can't say that
What was
that? No. I mean, I may miss drugs. I mean, it definitely may get to a point where I think, man, it would be nice to be high today.
But what can you do to replace that thought? That's what's going to help you to stay successful.
Well, if it ever got heavy enough of a thought, call my sponsor. I'd probably call him anyway, just because whenever it would happen, whenever it does happen, it'll be, so much time has gone by since it happened, so I definitely would give him a call. But if it was anything like serious or, definitely just maybe go to a meeting, find a meeting wherever it's at, and just drive to it. And but I just don't.
Change. Sorry.
No. And no, I just am just gonna work the program. As much as that wasn't anything I ever really wanted to do. Just kind of don't have a choice. You got to.
Well, and you have a lot more to lose. This time I think than before getting
Absolutely.
into the addiction, because you've worked so hard to have what you have now, and just being able to remind yourself of those consequences. For some people that's really helpful. It's just replaying the scene. Okay, well, I've been there, done that. Where is it going to get me? And
That's it.
do I truly enjoy the person that I am today, and do I like the life that I'm living today? And trying to hold on to those positive thoughts.
That's it.
For some people would be helpful. But I'm really proud of you. I wish you well. Was there anything on here that you were like, wow, I can't believe I read that, or all of these pretty much the same?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, so nothing's really changed. Did you want a copy of this, or do you feel like you have it?
No, I'm going to do the card like you said.
Okay.
Make a little card and put some stuff on it.
All right. So everything looks well, and I'm going to let you go so that you can get back there and get your medication and do your urine screen, and then we'll see you back in 2 weeks so that I'll have your discharge summary completed and have you sign off on that, and then you'll hear from me via telephone.
All right. So, but I'll wait to see you next Tuesday then? I mean, I don't care. I mean, 2 Tuesdays, I'm sorry.
Oh, do you want to have the session that day, or did you just want to bring in your bottles? Why don't we do a session?
All right, that's fine.
We don't have to do a full session.
All right,
Just kind of like a check-in, see how you're doing.
That's good. I'll sign the paper.
Okay.
All right. That's fine.
So we'll just let Joyce know we want to schedule you for a 2-week appointment.
Sounds good.
Actually, what's 2 weeks from today?
The 26th, 20th.
I'm actually on vacation that week, Joe. I'm not going to see you. Oh no, I didn't realize.
Okay, well, how about, would I be allowed to hold my bottles and just hold them that extra week and bring them in on the 27th?
No, but if you could bring them in on the 20th, if you wanted to meet with me on the 27th.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll come in on the 27th and sign the paperwork.
Yeah, I forgot. I'm on vacation that week.
Are you going anywhere or just taking time off?
Yeah, we're going to go to Tennessee for the week.
Really?
Yeah.
Cool.
So I won't be able to stop by to see you.
Family or just visiting?
We're just going for vacation. I don't have any family there.
Oh, wow.
Stay in the mountains and.
Oh, that's cool.
Get away from all of this.
That's it. Are you driving?
Yeah.
Cool.
We've been there before. It's beautiful. I love the mountains.
Yeah. I've been to Tennessee.
Yeah. It's really pretty. So.
Another thing that you've got to do is, you're married, right?
Yes.
You and your husband need to go to Kentucky Derby one year.
Okay.
The horse race.
Okay.
Because I've been to Super Bowls, like Rose Bowls, college football games, huge concerts. By far, the Kentucky Derby is the funnest, coolest thing going. Like,
wow, okay.
I mean, it is such. I've never been around like 100,000 people that it's like everybody's your friend. Everybody's just cool. There's no like. And then the horses, when like the horses come by. I mean, I was born right in the city.
Yeah.
So to see like a horse, let alone a $2 million race horse, like.
It's amazing.
It really is. It's a neat thing.
I'll have to keep that in mind for maybe our next vacation. Yeah,
I mean, it's all, just on a Saturday. It races Friday nights, but it would be just like a long weekend kind of thing. But, I mean, I tell everybody to go there. It is such a cool thing. It really is. And,
a lot of times my clients will suggest things I had not thought about or Google, because I learn something new every day. And I always take that with, like, wow, because I suggest things all day long.
That's it.
And I love it when people have suggestions for me, because I'm like, oh, I never thought of that. That's a good idea.
Exactly.
So I'll definitely take you up on that.
Yeah, you would definitely like it.
Okay, really so I'll have you come back the Tuesday the 26th.
26th.
I'm sorry, the 20th.
No. Oh, yeah, I'm coming back the 20th to pay and drop bottles.
You'll meet with me on the 27th?
And I'll meet with you on the 27th.
Okay, all right.
So that'll even be better, because I'll have a week.
Okay. I hear them. Okay. Why is this still going?